We appear all set. The hosts going to get us underway. Newcastle United in their changed kit, very much focused on promotion, and tonight have chance to win a third consecutive WSL2 game for the first time in the club's history. It's the first time in 6 weeks Sheffield United have had chance to improve on their current league position, which sees them just 2 points above the drop. Wardlaw sends it down the line. Murphy will give chase and apply the pressure. And it is a Newcastle United throw. Emily Murphy, one of those who was busy during the international break. Played in both games for the Republic of Ireland. And here's Wardlaw with the throw. Into Nobbs. And that is going to be the first offside of the game. Beth Lumsden. Easy decision on this near side for Josh Brayshaw. Sheffield United don't go long, and they go across the goal, which is always risky. They get away with that one, and they can turn, and they're moving forward over the right-hand side. Ball down the line for Ralph. She can't bring it under control, but territory gain for the hosts. Ball still out wide, as you can see. There are bodies forward for Sheffield United in the box, but they're opting to keep possession here. Of course, they had that FA Cup defeat against Manchester City. They have played friendlies as well during this enforced stay of absence from the Barclays Women's Super League 2. And Demi Stokes' first meaningful contribution is to ensure her side have a goal kick. Taminin, who has been an ever-present since making the switch to Newcastle United, the Finnish international goalkeeper. Looks to go down the middle. Nobbs for Newcastle. Murphy rides one challenge. Asking a lot there of Lumsden, too much. So it will be a Sheffield United throw. Remember, we are live on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel, so you can pause and rewind. You can comment as you see fit. And the game will be able for you to view back in its entirety once the full-time whistle has been blown. And we will provide you with condensed matched highlights as well. If you haven't clicked subscribe already, do so, and you can get some notifications as regards to when all the live action is, if you have a particular team. And it is a full weekend, which includes 5 fixtures tomorrow. Mothering Sunday. What better way to spend the day than with us here on the Barclays WSL 2 YouTube channel. Ipswich Durham at 12, Charlton Sunderland, Palace Forest, Portsmouth Bristol City, Southampton Birmingham. Those latter 4 are your choice from 2 p.m. As you can see here, goalless between Sheffield United and Newcastle United. It's the visitors in possession. Stokes looking down the line. Murphy trying to roll away from the defender, and that's good strength from Newcastle's lone striker. She's in the game's first corner. Found the back of the net against Portsmouth in their last outing in the Barclays Women's Super League. And she'll no doubt be one of the targets to get on the end of what is going to be a first corner of the game, to be taken by Pike. In swinger. Tough one for the goalkeeper, who double fists. Not cleared. Oh! Eventually saved by Rogers. Challenging first real moment for Sheffield United's number 1, which she comes through, as you can see there, makes contact. Bit of a scramble, and fortunately for her, the final touch was off her captain, Ella Kinzit, which took certainly the momentum out of that. Stephen Healy, the Sheffield United head coach, says it was an unwanted break, but as a new appointment, he's only been in position since the 25th of January. It did allow him chance on the training ground to embed his philosophy and key game principles. Player still down, so you haven't missed anything here. Visiting head coach Tanya Oxtoby, she said the international break felt like forever, but it has allowed her to work with players individually, and particularly if you look at the strength and depth they have now on the bench, a lot more options should she need to change the course of travel in this game. Just relaying some thoughts to Demi Stokes, the captain. So after that brief stoppage, we are going to be okay to continue. It's going to be an uncontested drop ball. So that's certainly one of the big areas that Sheffield United are going to have to improve on if they want to preserve their status in the WSL 2. It is when it comes to defending, just the one clean sheet all season. And actually just stretches back to one clean sheet in their last 38 games played in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. And Jordan Nobbs trying to create something here for Newcastle United. The ball has been kept in play. No, it hasn't. It was the referee who gave that, rather than his assistants. So Wardlaw, once again, with a Newcastle United throw. Helped on by Nobbs, and unfortunately for her, once again, Beth Lumsden had strayed into an offside position. So it is 4 Barclays WSL 2 games without a win here at Bramall Lane for Sheffield United. Rodgers, sliced clearance. Quick into the challenge though, and they have possession back. They're moving forwards. Devlin into Ralph. As you can see, the hosts are keen to stick to the game plan. Passing through the thirds, looking to move Newcastle United around here. Ralph. Devlin's seen a lot of the ball already. That's a good spot, good run. Just too much heat on the pass. Nice idea, though. Taminins. Clearance headed back by Lafayette. Nice drop of the shoulder there by Devlin. Well, I thought that was a clean take of the ball. Certainly, as you can see, those were the thoughts of Emma Kelly and Jordan Nobbs, just passing on those thoughts to the referee, Joe Moss. What do you think at home? You can hit the comments. Let us know what you thought of this opening 9.5 minutes of action. Yet to see either goalkeeper significantly tested. What can Sheffield United do with this first set piece? Working it out wide, Lafayette ran straight into Larson. Sheffield United have it back. Going to try and work things, well, I was about to say on the right-hand side. Lafayette just takes her eye off the ball. Four wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats on the road so far for Newcastle United. 14 points on their travels. They have played a game extra prior to this evening in terms of away fixtures. That does mean that certainly in terms of the run-in, they are blessed with the majority of their fixtures being played at home in front of their own supporters. Wardlaw, miscue with the header, so that's going to be a Sheffield United throw. So let's have a look at how possessions shaped up early on. My eyes do give the correct indication. I did think Sheffield United had seen more of the ball, and that's what the data tells us. But I think in particular what they have struggled with is sticking it in the back of the net. Failed to score in 5 of their last 6 outings in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. If they can get Amy Andrews firing once again, and you probably won't need me to tell you that Sheffield United's number 7 has yet to touch the ball. So you're going to have to be patient here this evening. The home supporters making their voices known. Newcastle United, as you can see, just happy to sit off and see what Sheffield United have to offer. A long way from the visitors' goal. Riaville goes direct. Ralph did get something on it, but Mannion's able to intercept. Very experienced Newcastle United back line. And Jordan Nobbs has made the run in behind. Is the angle against her? She went for the cutback, and I think she did indeed get the final touch. Well, Jordan Nobbs using all that experience to get away from her markers. Just unfortunate the attempted cutback ricocheted off Newcastle United's number 4, but that's an early warning for the hosts that she might not be the quickest, but probably no one reads the game better than Jordan Nobbs, and she was able to use that awareness to create a chance. Ball down the line ended up more like a clearance for Sheffield United. Yeah, not too much for Blade supporters to shout about as of yet. As you can see, there's a Newcastle United fan there in the middle as well. She didn't look too happy. Slow burn so far. Yet to have an effort on target. Devlin trying to change that. She's gained a few more yards, closer to Newcastle United's 18-yard box. Quick turnaround for both of these teams, because after tonight, recovery, chance to reset, because they go again on Wednesday evening. Here is the aforementioned Andrews, her first contribution to the game in the 15th minute. Space over this right-hand side. Good decoy with the run. The cross does come in, and Purfield tried to clear. No distance on it. Eventually it is job complete by Amelia Larson. Gotta be careful. Almost had 2 balls on the pitch there. Devlin's cross. Met by Wardlaw. Helped on. That's a good first touch from Murphy. It's just behind Nobbs, and that did allow a chance for Jess Riaville to intercept. Mannion, firm challenge from behind. Stokes. Always looking forward here, Newcastle United, trying to create. Heavy touch from Murphy. Riaville can't get on the end of the loose ball. Mannion uses her poison skill to just bring a bit more calm to proceedings. And I guess that's what Newcastle will want, is some of their playmakers to get more on the ball, the likes of Nobbs. And now she's chasing Andrews, who's using her pace. Not much in terms of an option. Wardlaw does well. Lafayette intercepts it back for Sheffield United. Devlin's able to turn. Can she get away from Newcastle United's double team there? No, she can't. And Murphy now wants to go around the outsides of Riaville. Riaville, oh, good challenge. Looked as though she was beaten for pace there, but used those extra long limbs to win back possession. It was undoubtedly a big miss in the defeat against Manchester City. Of course, it is Manchester City, with all due respect, so it was always going to be a tough ask, but certainly the likes of Riaville and Lafayette, two of their most experienced defenders. Well, I say that in terms of Riaville. She's only 20, but she's played a lot of football in Sheffield United colours since making the switch from Stoke City. Clearly ready to compete at this level. Steady build-up from the host, but you can see there is a structure to it. And Andrews is that outlet ball on the left-hand side. Thought it was going to skid away from her there, but she's still in possession. Chance to run at Wardlaw, which she duly takes, and Wardlaw doesn't let her get much further, but at the expense of Sheffield United's first corner. Well, certainly Newcastle United's first corner was one that caused a few problems for Sean Rogers at the other end. So let's see how Anna Taminin can do with the first effort for the host from Charlie Devlin. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger here. Deep. Oof, good defending by Mannion. Shot ricochets off Stokes. Nobbs. More height than distance. So over this left-hand side, once again with the corner taker, Devlin. Lafayette had strayed offside, but her ball does come in. It's a good cross as well, and Metz. Riaville, I think it was, with the touch for Sheffield United. No real significant pace and power on the attempt on target, but a save that needed to be made. Riaville's header into Devlin. A little short with the layoff there. Murphy able to recover. Hit the deck and back to her feet. Great athleticism from the Irish international striker. Nobbs wants Murphy to come short once again. Back with Nobbs. Mannion. Newcastle United, as you can see, keen to make good use of this big Bramall Lane pitch. Larson. Perfield striding forward. Looking at her options. Pike, can she get the strike off? No, because she's closed down. That one took a deflection. Awkward for the defender, who did really well there. Stokes for Newcastle United. Starting to dominate things here, the visitors. Enjoying more possession than they had done previously in the early stages. And looking for the gaps, which at the moment is over on the left-hand side as Stokes. Larson. Larson. Ambitious and not working the goalkeeper, but a sign of intent. Amelia Larson. Yet to score in Newcastle United colours. think certainly Stephen Healy will be happy to be in the game early on. Nothing rash so far from his side. I think Tanya Oxtoby are more encouraged that she has seen her side pose the bigger attacking threat, has to be said. Certainly Nobbs and Murphy. And as I say that, Nobbs is nipped in behind, has she? No. Touch just let her down, and the goalkeeper's given it straight back to Newcastle. Scrappy bit of play there. Lafayette will still have it, though, in play. And look to bring Sheffield United up the park. Good spot inside to Rouse, to Devlin. Andrews once again. She's got a yard away from Wardlaw. Amy Andrews for Sheffield United. Her cross, Stokes clears. Cross comes in. Too close to the goalkeeper. Well claimed by Taminin. She's not happy with the close attention being paid there by Joy Ralph. I'm sure regular football viewers will be aware of, obviously, the 8-second rule that's been introduced this season. That's how long the goalkeeper can have the ball in their hands. Mannion. Taminin. Perfield has room to bring the ball forwards. So let's have a look at where the ball has been at its busiest so far in this 22 minutes played, and it certainly centrally, understandably, that's where most of possession has been. But Newcastle gaining more inroads into the opposition box. But as you can see from the score, Sheffield United 0, Newcastle United 0. Perfield keeps it in play. Murphy has to go backwards. Eva Butler, one of a number of Sheffield United Academy products who've come through their development setup. But this is Newcastle United in full flow. And I think Riaville's done really well there because she cleared into Larson, so it will be a Sheffield United throw. Second time this evening that she's been alert and able to execute a good slide challenge. I think it's fair to say that Sheffield United are anticipating their defenders to be busy here this evening. Very composed there from Rouse under pressure. And likewise from Sheffield United. There's no hoof it long looking to play through. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Rouse, first time, looking for Andrews. Wardlaw had read that. Mannion for Newcastle United. Lumsden, heavy touch, and I think she's rather fortunate there. The Newcastle United number 26, Kinsit, was committed to the challenge. Chance for the ball to be swung into the box surely here. That's got to be the objective for Molly Pike. Does have an option of going short should she require it. Lumsden's poised there. But it is Pike going direct. Well defended. Appeals for handball. Ralph has it for Sheffield United. She gets away from the challenge and looking to play in Andrews, who's in. Good first touch. Oh, the goalkeeper with the slide. Ralph on a weaker left foot. Well, that was almost a devastating counter-attack from Sheffield United. Look at that. For poise and balance from Ralph, rides the challenge. Kelly was looking to bring her down. And Andrews, I said it was a good first touch, maybe just a slight too heavy. Certainly something for the Sheffield United fans to be encouraged by. Rogers doesn't look that assured with the ball at her feet, has to be said. Offers up her apologies. Was the Players' Player of the season last year. And what was a really difficult campaign for Sheffield United. As you were, Newcastle United with the throw. Wardlaw asking a lot there of Lumsden. Lafayette happy to see that ball roll into touch. So there is interest in both ends of the Barclays Women's Super League 2 with this fixture. Newcastle United trying to close the gap, and as you can see, they are moving up into fourth with a point. Should they, though, take maximum points, it could see them move level on points with Birmingham City. In terms of the bottom, Sheffield United moving 3 points clear of Ipswich, who are propping everybody up, but the teams below them, Ipswich and Portsmouth, play tomorrow. Andrews looking to turn 1 point into potentially 3. Her efforts thwarted this time, and Lafayette turns the ball over. You can see there's not a great deal of stuff happening, is there? We don't want to burn all of our powder. Perfield. Larson into Murphy, and that's going to be a Newcastle United free kick. Totting up the free kicks here for the visitors. Simone Sherwood, the latest offender. Lafayette with time. Andrews. Intercepted by Kelly. Lumsden through the legs of Lafayette, and she's moving away now, the winger. Low cross, and once again it's Riaville. Great positional awareness. Andrews away from Wardlaw, comes in fields. Rouse. So a reminder, we do have 5 Women's Barclays Super League 2 fixtures for you on Sunday here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe to receive notifications. The early kickoff, 12 p.m. Big game at the bottom, which Sheffield United will have eyes on. And I'll pause that because they're looking to get the cross in. Cowan did well on the stretch. But yeah, a big game tomorrow that kicks things off. 12 p.m. Ipswich against Durham. And then there's 4 games at 2 p.m. Charlton, the league leaders who were beaten for the first time midweek on home soil against Portsmouth. They're taking on Sunderland. Palace Forest, Pompey Bristol City, and Southampton Birmingham. Oh, Tanya Oxterby just sharing a few thoughts on what she's seen in this almost half an hour played. Nobbs for Newcastle United. Pike rather waited for the ball to come to her there. Rouse clearly had other ideas. Sherwood got away with a loose touch. Kinzit. That's a fine pass into Ralph, but Mannion, good strength to hold off the Sheffield United attacker. Good take from Sheffield United's number 9, but right on her heels was Aoife Mannion. Another player who started both games for Ireland during the international break. And here she is on the ball once again. Played every single second of league action so far. One of those, sadly, multiple players who've had to make journeys back from ACL injuries. Experience at Manchester City and Manchester United, and that's where she wants to be with Newcastle United in the English women's top flight. Trying to pick out Lumsden there. Andrews. Not on the same wavelength there as Devlin. Newcastle can't make better use of possession, though. Here are Sheffield United coming forward. Ralph had made the run towards the near post. Butler still has it. Is she going to go around the outside of Stokes? She is. And cross straight into the Finnish goalkeeper's hands. I think both sides showing that it might be a game of limited, clear-cut opportunities. Of course, fatigue and skill all have their part to play in it, but cancelling each other out so far. You can hit your own comments in the YouTube comment section as regards to what you think of the action so far. I think certainly Sheffield United will be happy here. Still well within the game. And the commentators curse once you praise them. They go and kick the ball out of play. Sheffield United certainly do their bit for entertainment to get fans into the stands. £10 for an adult ticket, £5 for concessions. Obviously, there is the alcohol trial as well, so you can drink in the stands should you choose to. And there's going to be a stoppage in play here because Anna Taminen needs medical treatment. Drinks at the ready for both sets of players. Stephen Healy. I think he'll be happy. He'll be happy. Whilst Newcastle certainly having more of the ball, I think Sheffield United have shown on the counter that they are threatening, and I'm pretty sure that's what Tanya Roxtelby are warning her players about, that, come on. They've shown on the break that they can potentially score here. We've got to take our chances at the other end. So Anna Taminen is back to her feet. Looks okay. Nodding along there with the medical staff. In terms of goal-scoring form this season, Sheffield United have tended to score more goals in the first half. So, again, I'm not sure how much we can read into that, but only 4 of their 11 goals scored this season have come in the second half of games. So it could be tight here at Bramall Lane. Not much in it. Still a long way to go into deciding who comes out potentially on top here. And it is Sheffield United coming forward. Lafayette, low cross, cleared by Perfield. Good spot by Murphy into Wardlaw. Murphy out wide for Newcastle United, away from Riaville. Is it opening up here for it? Doesn't look at goal, looks to cross it. I think maybe you should have had a look up there. This shot was on. Andrews slows things down. Ball is behind Rouse, but she's able to keep Sheffield United in possession. Butler. Molly Rouse. Too firm with her attempted through ball. Let's take another look at that. Well, an eventual cross from Emily Murphy up against Riaville, gets away from it. Yeah, she's always looking across to her left. 5 goals to her name, Emily Murphy, for Newcastle United this season. Her first full campaign in black and white, having made the switch in January 2025. Stokes. Into Murphy. Larson first time looking for Nobbs. Well, intercepted, but Newcastle United still have it. Pike, Kelly. Now Perfield. Perfield again, gets away from Ralph. Stokes has continued her run. First time cross. Riaville's there once again for Sheffield United. Rouse. Devlin. Drop of the shoulder to get away from Kelly. No foul according to the referee. Murphy. Is she in? She is, but it's a tame effort. Well, I don't think Sheffield United would have been happy if that would have ended up in the back of the net. Let's take another look at this. Is this a free kick? Viewers at home? Well, certainly Joe Moss didn't think so. And there is Emily Murphy with another chance for the visitors. I spoke of Sheffield United's struggles in front of goal. Newcastle United have scored in every single away game this season. They've only failed to score once in the league. That was at home against Charlton. And here's Lumsden. Was she being tugged back there? No appeals from the Newcastle player. Great resilience and draws the save. Is Murphy in there? It's cleared and is eventually, but the referee has already blown his whistle. Sheffield United free kick, much to the frustration of Amelia Larson, who did find the back of the net, but the whistle had been blown seconds before. A lot to digest in that phase of play. First it's Lumsden. Look at this for persistence and determination. Hits the deck, slide challenge, back up, gets the shot off. Great save. Murphy's trying to head it in off the floor. Well, that's been the most entertaining moment of the game so far. Still 0-0. And Lumsden is down in the Sheffield United penalty area. Well, Lumsden, it was, who had that chance, and I think she may have injured herself in doing so. Let's remind ourselves, though, of exactly what happened. Spoke of plenty of credit being given to Beth Lumsden here. Strength, persistence, athleticism to slide challenge, quickly get back on her feet. Look, Lafayette's completely away from that. Turns, gets off the shot. Good save, good hand there from Rogers. Look at Murphy trying to head it in off the ground. That's John Terry-esque. And then it eventually is into the back of the net, but much to the anger of Amelia Lawson, Joe Moss's whistle had gone before that. No goals, but we're potentially getting there. We're seeing things open up ever so slightly, particularly for Newcastle United. A couple of chances in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Kinzit, Riaville spots the run. It's a good ball out wide to Andrews. Rouse for Sheffield United. Sherwood. Not been too much of the action down that right-hand side for the likes of Butler and Cowan. Certainly not playing like a side who are overly concerned with relegation. Clearly adapting well to their new head coach's playing style. Lafayette, Devlin, crowded on this left-hand side, and is that a free kick? It is. And in the 43rd minute, with the exception of a corner, the closest Sheffield United will be in terms of a dead ball situation in this opening half. Devlin this time, the architect, spots the gap. And it was, in fact, Emma Kelly who clipped her heel. Emma Kelly, whose last appearance prior to this evening was in the reverse fixture, which ended in a 1-1 draw up in Newcastle. And difficulty with a hamstring issue. Well, it's Devlin who won the free kick, and Lafayette stood over the ball. Lafayette with plenty to say. I think the shot is on here, if Devlin wants to go for it. Ops to cross. Oh, it's tapped in and home for Sheffield United! Sherwood it is, I think, on the line, who's going to be credited with it. The Leicester City Loney teenager has given Sheffield United the breakthrough. Comes from a set piece. It's helped on by Rouse, and Sherwood there, who I think apologises for taking the goal away from a teammate. That could be a big goal for the home side and their hopes of remaining in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 just before the half-time whistle. Sheffield United 1, Newcastle United 0. Well, we are hearing that there's going to be a substantial bit of stoppage time in this first half, but Sheffield United have something to hold on to now. They've scored for only the second time since late December, and I think Andrews is going to get there. Oh, good defending. You earn your own luck, and Charlotte Wardlaw with the slide saw it flick back off the player in red and white, so it will be a Newcastle United goal kick. Well, I won't go as far to say it was against the run of play, but it certainly came following a succession of Newcastle United opportunities, and they could be in for more here. Butler, Ralph, straight across goal. Who got the final touch? Well, it was a Newcastle United player, because the referee's decision is corner. And there we have it, confirmation, a minimum of 5 minutes of first half stoppage time. Simone Sherwood's goal coming in the 44th minute. The 19-year-old making what is just only her third start for the club. Brought in from Leicester City during the January transfer window. Here's Lafayette with her left foot. Goes short. Gets it back from Andrews. Lafayette, good ball. Headed clear by Kelly. Lafayette gets there ahead of Murphy. She stayed down the Sheffield United player, and it's a 3-on-2. Nobbs goes to a left to Lawson. It's not the best ball into it. And Devlin, head down, moving in the opposite direction. Space on this left-hand side for Molly Rouse. Grass to move into. Rouse onto her right. Good block from Mannion. Rouse on the slides. And that's defended well there by Newcastle United. Whose wait for a clean sheet on the road will have to continue. Both of their clean sheets this season have come in home games, Southampton in December, and the victory last time out prior to this evening against Portsmouth. But they're trying to score now. Nobbs, Lawson, chest, strike! Oh, we're all level! Actually, it's Emily Murphy with the equalising goal. Not giving away much in terms of celebration. She had squandered a couple of earlier chances. She makes no mistake this time and bags her 6th goal of the season. Sheffield United's lead lasted barely 3.5 minutes. Still in the first half, Sheffield United won, Newcastle United won. Emily Murphy scoring in back-to-back games as Newcastle United continue their streak of scoring in every away game since November 2024 against Bristol City, at Bristol City. That was the last time that they failed to score. So the 14th consecutive game they've scored in on the road in the Barclays Women's Super League 2, and it was Emily Murphy. And still, at least 80 seconds of action remaining here in the first half. Well, I don't think Tanya Oxtoby would have been totally happy with the manner in which they conceded, but in terms of the response, Murphy this time with the infringements. Rogers with the free kick. Mannion's header. Rouse. Wardlaw pokes it back down the line. Riaville overhits the attempted ball into Andrews. Rouse for Sheffield United, and that's got too much fizz on it. And that may be about it for this opening 45+ stoppage time, where we look to the all square as the players head into the break. And indeed, the referee, Joe Moss, does blow the half-time whistle. Slow burner, teenager Simone Sherwood opening the scoring in the 44th minute, poking home on the line, and then in first half stoppage time, Emily Murphy finishing off the Newcastle United counter-attack. Half-time at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle United 1. And away we go. Sheffield United yet to lose a league game here at home this season when scoring the opening goal. Newcastle United yet to win, but 2 draws from losing positions so far this campaign. The last one achieved on the road at Crystal Palace. 2-2 that game finished. Newcastle United. We're coming forward, force backwards. Mannion. Lumsden goes over the top of Lafayette. That was nice. Nobbs does keep it in play. Lumsden. Good cross. Stokes didn't really attack it there, though. Maybe she knew it was beyond it. Certainly have to credit the ball in from Beth Lumsden. One of 3 changes made by Tanya Oxtoby from the side that beat Portsmouth a month ago, February the 15th, the last time that Newcastle United were in competitive action. Sheffield United did play in the FA Cup, but it was the 1st of February prior to this evening, the last time they played a league game. That was the draw against Charlton. 6 games without a win in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 for Sheffield United. So just scrolling across the bottom, confirmation of the Sheffield United lineup, but Murphy lets it run through to Larson, who doesn't hit the target. I think the referee's whistle had already gone for offside. Well, she had one chalked off in the first half, the Swedes, and another good opportunity there. Full of praise for the ball from Aoife Mannion. Murphy lets it bounce. Larson's there. Goalkeeper did well to close down the space. Here's Ralph for Sheffield United. Holds off Wardlaw. Andrews, Ralph goes for it. On target, but nowhere near enough power to trouble Tamin in. There's the Newcastle United lineup scrolling through for you across the bottom. Again, we are live on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. You can comment throughout the game. And here's Rouse coming forward for Sheffield United. Butler. Stokes backs off. Butler. Can she get the strike off? Was well defended by Newcastle United. Lafayette. Andrews. Lafayette. Slide challenge is a good one from Kelly. Had to win the ball. Mannion. Back to a goalkeeper who was sold rather short there. Sheffield United have turned it over. Cowan. Butler. There hasn't been too much down the right-hand side in the first half for Sheffield United. Looking to change that up in the second. Butler's cross. Met by a combination of Devlin and Ralph getting in each other's way, to be honest with you. The shot doesn't end up on target. Charlie Devlin looks to have found a base layer during the half-time interval. Mixed attire throughout. Some gloves, some base layer short sleeve combos. Whatever works for you. And that is a free kick to Sheffield United. Pike with the foul. Kinsit just tells Rieville to leave it. It is with the Sheffield United centre-half, who came up with a couple of clutch last-ditch challenges in the opening exchanges in this first half. Rodgers. Newcastle United seizing that opportunity to try and press, and that's what Sheffield United have successfully been able to play through. Short-lived though. Murphy on the spin. Stokes. Larson. Nobbs. Larson back to Nobbs. Can she get the strike off? No, she can't. Andrews. Pike certainly hit that! And what a save from Sean Rodgers. That ball was moving. Molly Pike, who 3 league goals have all come on the road this season. This close to a 4th on her travels. And that ball was travelling prior to the intervention of Sean Rodgers. Still a Newcastle United corner. Missed by everybody. Nobbs blocked. Faint appeals for handball. No one on the pitch, more from the stands, from what I can only assume is the visiting Newcastle United supports. Sheffield United throw. Let's have another look at potential handball here. Certainly not obvious. Andrews for Sheffield United, trying to weave her way through. Just so far as of yet, not really been that end product for Amy Andrews, formerly of Newcastle United and of course Durham as well, so knows the Northeast extremely well. Sheffield United's top scorer. Scored in the 1-1 draw with Charlton back in February. Mannion. The attempted through ball from Kelly was denied by Lafayette. Murphy, head up, cuts it back. Oh, it's taken away from Nobbs. Will it roll for Stokes? No, it won't. Awfully close for another strike at goal there for Newcastle United, and they have possession here. Lumsden dinks it in, looking for teammates, falls to Stokes, blocked. Rouse trying to clear. Can't get it away, Sheffield United, because pretty much Newcastle United stop them at every attempt here. Devlin uses her body well. Rouse looking for Andrews, finds her teammate. Wardlaw. Oh! Tipped over. Well, I said she had been getting closer, Amy Andrews. That's the closest she's come this evening to what would be Sheffield United corner, which is allowed to bounce inside the 6-yard box. The decision goes Newcastle United's way. Lafayette. Ralph. Can't get the better of Ifeanyi. Sherwood, the goal scorer for Sheffield United, winning that aerial duel. So once again, it is a busy weekend of Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube action. Hit subscribe if you aren't a subscriber already. You'll receive notifications of all of the contents, in particular the live action. It is a 5-game Sunday. Just the one game here today, which you're watching, which is currently Sheffield United 1, Newcastle United 1, and it is a free kick to the visitors, taken quickly. Lumsden away from Andrews. Slick feet, closed down by Kinzit. Pike. Lafayette for Sheffield United. Andrews, good close control there. That ball was fired into it. Well, as we tick towards the hour mark, you'd like to think that both head coaches would maybe be thinking about possibly switching things up. Sherwood got there for Sheffield United. Will Rouse get there ahead of Stokes? She will. Looking down the line. Instead goes back to Cowan. Cowan again. Loose from Rouse. Murphy. Nobbs. Not sure if that was a cross, a shot or an attempted pass. It does end up at the feet of Sean Rogers. Sheffield United go short. A little risky. Kinzit. Nice from Rouse. Pokes it into the path of Andrews. Space for Butler. Oh, she was trying to pick out a teammate on the opposite side, but thwarted by Ifeanyi. Wardlaw for Newcastle United. Nobbs wants it. The referee just needs to get out of the way. It's at the feet of Jordan Nobbs. Flying forward for Newcastle United here. Emily Murphy. Murphy! Another attempt on target from the Irish striker. You could see Andrews was trying to square it to Butler. Mannion, again, well placed. Newcastle United with the ball. Let's have a look at how the possession statistics are shaping up. Well, in terms of passes completed, Sheffield United have done that more often so far. Butler couldn't get her pass off that time. And here's Murphy, moving at speed. Nobbs on the stretch. Riaville again with a crucial touch for Sheffield United. And the space once again for Amy Andrews, who needs no encouragement to come forward. Newcastle desperately trying to keep track with Sheffield United's number 7, who's still going. Long bursting effort there from Sheffield United's Amy Andrews. Larson gets it back from Murphy. Oh, good disguise, almost able to play in Jordan Nobbs. The Swede has it though. She was looking for Pike, could only pass it straight to Lafayette, who goes over the top for Andrews, but positioning was excellent there from Wardlaw. Checks over her shoulder, no need to worry, can bring Newcastle forward, straight into Murphy. Perfield. It's another attempt which requires a save from Sean Rogers. Well, that's what you would say about Newcastle, with the exception of the goal. Just not been enough quality with that final effort towards the Sheffield United net. There is going to be a stoppage here, and I do understand that Sheffield United are readying a change. You can see just on the right of, well, the bottom towards the right is Connie Schofield. And she is going to be replacing Eva Butler. Well, it is a welcome return for Connie Schofield. Her first appearance of the season came against Manchester City in that defeat in the FA Cup. So this is her first Barclays Women's Super League 2 outing of the campaign. Second season in red and white, having made the switch from London City. And there's going to be a triple change for Newcastle United. Gregory, Cooper and McQuaid. Confirmation there that Demi Stokes is going to be the first player to make way. So there will be a swapping of the Newcastle United armbands. Emma Kelly also, her evening's work is complete. And Lumsden completes the trio that have gone off. Jasmine McQuaid just being forced to wait a few more seconds there. So pretty much like for like in every position. Was Freya Gregory one of the 3 players to drop out of the starting lineup for Newcastle United, so she's into the action. And also it's the first appearance of 2026 for Deanna Cooper. Tanya Oxtoby spoke pre-match about how she's happy that despite the long layoff in terms of game action, it has enabled her to bring back players who've been nursing problems and getting them back to being match fit, signed off by all the doctors and sports scientists, saying they're good to go. Deanna Cooper, one of those. Here's Rouse for Sheffield United. First contribution for Cooper is to cut out that pass. Sheffield United throw. Devlin. I think in all honesty, Sheffield United may well have taken a point prior to kick-off, and almost under unnecessary pressure there as Sean Rogers once again struggles with the ball at her feet. Certainly when it comes to passing, that is the potential weakness in her game. As you can see, clearance-wise, she's all okay with that. Just that accuracy when trying to play out from the back. Not quite there tonight from Sheffield United's number one. Once again, in terms of territorial possession, it is Newcastle United enjoying more in the final thirds. We have less than 25 minutes of normal time remaining, plus stoppages. And Sheffield United have the possession. Devlin. Cowan. First time into Kinzit. Cut out by Perfield. Sheffield United working hard to win it back, though. Sherwood. Nice play from the Blades here. Movement off the ball as well. Schofield. Andrews. Rouse. Looking for Ralph, and it's cut out by Wardlaw. An interception that needed to be made because Joy Ralph was poised inside the penalty area. Sheffield United's fourth corner of the game. Abby Lafayette to take here. Oh, she just needs to fasten her bootlace prior to doing so. Well, it was a set piece that Sheffield United opened the scoring with. What can they do here? Lafayette. Was that tipped over? It was, so it'll be another go in quick succession for the Sheffield United defender. Awkward one there for Anna Taminin. Lafayette once again. Met by Ralph, poked back across goal. Andrews. Sherwood. And Ralph can't work the goalkeeper, so that will be a Newcastle United goal kick. Well, can it be a doubly successful Saturday evening for Newcastle United? Their men have won 1-0 away at Chelsea. And their women are defending here because Lafayette is coming forward for Sheffield United. Cooper with the interception. It's going to be a Newcastle throw. Riaville. Able to retrieve her own initial header. Mannion in strongly there on Lafayette. The action continues. Looking to set Andrews on her way. The referee, though, does opt to pause play. Oh, these supporters set for some late drama at Bramall Lane. 20 minutes of normal time remaining. Both goals coming in the first half. If you did join us late, reminder on YouTube, you can scroll back and watch back any bits of key action that you may have missed. The first goal came in the 44th minute from Simone Sherwood. Her first in Newcastle, her first in Sheffield United colours, my apologies. She's on loan from Leicester City, the teenager. Third consecutive start in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. And the equaliser, that came in stoppage time in the first half. Emily Murphy in front of the on-watching Irish head coach, Carla Ward, who's seen a lot of Emily Murphy in recent weeks. She was there for, well, she started both of Ireland's international fixtures during the break, and Carla Ward's here this evening. Also, no doubt, keeping an eye on Aoife Mannion as well. And potentially Joy Ralph for Sheffield United as well, who's part of the Irish youth setup, yet to be called up by the senior team. Cowan. There's the aforementioned Ralph, and once again in possession here. Doing her bit for Sheffield United and also trying to stake a claim for a senior international call-up. Rogers allowed to look out and assess her options. Picked out Rouse. Quickly closed down by Wardlaw, but it's still going to be a Sheffield United throw. Reminder, we are on YouTube. You can comment away. Send in your comments on what you feel as though the action has been. I'll be honest, it's very heavily Newcastle United dominated in the comments section. So if you are a Sheffield United fan at home, hit the comments tab live on YouTube. Share your thoughts. Is this one going to be decided either way, or are we set to end all square here? Rouse trying to change things. Devlin was an option. Lafayette. That was a clumsy challenge there. Larson. I think Sheffield United are asking whether or not that should be worthy of a yellow card. Let's take another look. She does slip the Swede, and her momentum takes her into Lafayette. No caution, but Sheffield United free kick. Sheffield United's goal came from a Devlin free kick. She lofts this one in. It goes to Schofield. Oh! I thought that was going to nestle in the opposite corner there. Comes back off the posts. I'll need to take another look at that. Well, what an introduction to life back in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. That could have been for Connie Schofield. Lovely technique. Hits across the ball. It bends away from Taminin. And that's how close Sheffield United were to retaking the lead here. Free kick to the Blades. Devlin. It is a case of don't go anywhere, because we might just see one side seize the opportunity to take all the points here. 6 without a win in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 for Sheffield United. Newcastle United looking to win 3 consecutive games in this division for the first time in the club's history. Emily Murphy takes a tumble. And we understand that she is potentially the Newcastle United's player set to be replaced. So confirmation that it is Shania Hales to come on. And immediately tries to close down Sherwood's. Kinzit. McQuaid. Hales. Goes to ground and wins Newcastle United a free kick. A few ironic cheers from the away supporters. Feeling as though not too many of those decisions have gone their way so far. Inside the final quarter of an hour of normal time here. Newcastle United sizing up this free kick. Larson, Nobbs and Pike. The three in contention. Larson looks the least interested in this. Looks as though she's perhaps going to get involved with the Sheffield United wall. Jordan Nobbs appears to be the favourite here. Rogers happy with her wall. Won't be surprised if Jordan Nobbs goes for goal here. Nobbs certainly got it over and dipping, just lacking any significant power. Well, good to see that the Sheffield United supporters have woken up in the YouTube comments section. Glad to see and hear from you. Sheffield United supporters have been very vocal throughout the game. Inside of Bramall Lane, cheering on their team to what would be a good point here, because this is an excellent Newcastle United team, but they know it's a big opportunity here this evening to put pressure on the likes of those sides who sit above them, the Crystal Palaces and the Birmingham Cities. In terms of at the foot of the table, this result as it stands is certainly helping out the Sheffield United cause. Devlin, Rouse, Andrews is free. She couldn't be found though by a teammate. Mannion once again with another interception for Newcastle United. Finds Jordan Nobbs. Mannion shrugs off Lafayette. Nobbs has stayed out wide for Newcastle United. Mannion with the overlap goes off the pitch. She's back on it and with the ball at her feet. Tired Sheffield United legs out there. Ball was played behind Hales. Rogers. She clears. Okay, so this is the situation at the foot of the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Ipswich, Portsmouth and Sheffield United in 10th. Sheffield United, as it stands, moving 3 points clear of that solitary relegation spot. Sheffield United are preparing another change as we tick towards the final 10 minutes of normal time. Mannion for Newcastle United slips, able to recover. Rouse trying to win it back for Sheffield United. Cooper. McQuaid. Poor ball. Devlin and Andrews got in each other's way there. Good reading of the situation there by Sherwood. Rouse. Looking for Schofield. Falls to Andrews. Pokes it in the direction of Ralph, who can't keep it down. I'm not sure it would have stood because I think the referee had blown for a Newcastle United free kick. Schofield again making things happen in the opposition box. It's a great spot by Andrews to pick out the number 9. Sheffield United making a double change here. Devlin to be replaced by Guyot, the Ipswich Town loanee. And indeed it was Joey Ralph's last contribution to the game. Lauren Thomas back in action for Sheffield United. Head coach Stephen Healy talked about him in particular being able to regain fitness during this prolonged layoff. So both head coaches have made changes. I'm sure Newcastle United would take 3 unbeaten. But certainly when they review this game, which you can do at your own discretion, rewind and watch the game in its entirety here on Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. We will also provide the best bits in terms of bite-sized highlights for you to watch as well. What's the end decision? Sheffield United corner. Gregory doesn't agree. Certainly, Abby Lafayette knows how to put pressure on the goalkeeper from her corners. Tamanin had to tip one earlier onto the roof of a net. Let's see what we have with the latest effort from the 23-year-olds. Another good one. The goalkeeper comes, doesn't claim, and is helped out by the referee. Wardlaw making good inroads. Territory gain for Newcastle United here. Stephen Healy yet to win since his appointment as Sheffield United head coach, but again looking to bolster their Barclays Women's Super League 2 tally here with a good point. Mannion, all the way back to Tamanin. Tanya Oxtoby in particular during a pre-match interview says, yes, maybe people can say there's a difference between points in the top and the bottom, but in terms of performance level, she feels as though the Barclays Women's Super League 2 is a division where anyone could beat anyone. And this is perhaps best illustrated in how tight this game has been at times. Sherwood. Good ball around the corner there. Appeals for handball. Guyot looking to close down for Sheffield United. Schofield. Cowan. Doesn't come off for Guyot. Gregory for Newcastle United. Finds Hales. Sherwood comes across for Sheffield United. Nobbs forced wide. Pike. Gregory can't bring it under control. Thomas protects the ball well. Needs some help though. All alone. Sheffield United substitute, trying to go alone. Didn't really have anything else to try there. Nobbs. Decent run from Larson. Player is down, so that's why there's a halt, and it's Sheffield United's goal scorer. Away the lasses. Newcastle United's visiting supporters. I don't think she knows she's live on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. Cramp for Sheffield United. Kinsit and Sherwood. Well, after failing to score in 3 of their 4 previous outings here at Bramall Lane, these Sheffield United supporters have enjoyed a goal to celebrate. And also Schofield hitting the post in the second half. That's probably, arguably, the closest we've come to one side taking the lead in this second half here. Stephen Healy watching on there. You can only assume that in terms of a possible replacement, there's not an obvious fully fit candidate, because it looks as though they want to try and allow Simone Sherwood as much chance as she can here to recover. Newcastle, though, once again looking to their bench in the 87th minute here. Una Savenius, the Finnish international, who scored during the international break as well. She comes on to replace Larson. So the question is whether or not Sheffield United's goal scorer is going to be okay to continue here. She's on her feet, walking over towards the halfway line. I think the fact that she's walked over towards the halfway line would suggest that that is going to be the end of her evening. So both goal scorers have gone off. And so I'm not entirely sure why Sheffield United didn't make the substitute there, because Sherwood's gone off. Taylor was waiting. So the Blades at the moment down to 10. Can Newcastle United take advantage of this player extra? Excellent ball in. Back across by Gregory. And well defended. It's going to be a Newcastle United corner. Difficult ball in from Mannion. Gregory made the most of it. Cowan, though, with some strong defending for Sheffield United, looking to protect their Barclays Women's Super League 2 point here. So it has been a double change. I understand that Scarlett Hill is already on, and that must have been the replacement for Sherwood. And here is the second Sheffield United change. It's the captain, Kinsit, who makes way, and Taylor comes on for her first appearance since the 12th of October. So welcome back to life in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 for Emma Taylor. Newcastle corner, not the best. Ball still in play. Pike has it back. McQuaid Goes for goal. Goalkeeper spills it, but able to recover. The 90 minutes are almost up, so we'll have to wait and see what stoppage time there is left. We have seen a number of substitutions in this second half. And I am hearing that there's going to be 6 minutes of additional time here. So surely enough time for at least one more opportunity for either team. Helped on towards Hales. Can she win it? I think it was Riaville who got the final touch. That's the view of the referee because it's a Newcastle United corner. Good work between the two forward players for Newcastle. Savenius linking up with Hales, who got a shot off. Newcastle corner. Goalkeeper can't claim, sent back towards goal. Hales pokes it into the side netting. She's certainly got in and amongst things since coming on. Newcastle's number 9. Only scored in one of the Barclays Women's Super League 2 games this season, and that was a brace against Ipswich back in November. Scored 15 league goals last season. And here she is again, the Jamaican international. Can't get past Taylor. Gregory for Newcastle United. Had she strayed offside? She had. So a big Sunday of Barclays Women's Super League 2 action. I'm sure Sheffield United fans will keep an keen eye on Ipswich Durham, which kicks things off at midday. 4 games at 2 p.m. Charlton Sunderland, Palace Forest, Portsmouth Bristol City, Southampton Birmingham. Choice of viewing on the channel here. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? You can comment along on all of the live action. And thanks for everyone who's offered their input this evening. Yet to see a goal in the second half here, and time is running out. Taylor does well under pressure. Finds Thomas. Mannion for Newcastle United. Purfield. Schofield can't get there. Newcastle United still in possession here. Trying to win it late on at Bramall Lane. Wardlaw. Rise in volume from the away supporters. Can Newcastle United put in a late show here in Yorkshire? Nobbs. Wardlaw. McQuaid. Oh, that was nice. And that's going to be a free kick, which is taken quickly. Sheffield United have been caught on the heels here. Jordan Nobbs' ball in. Well defended by Taylor. Purfield denied. Newcastle United will send it back, though. Gregory. Is she going to run at Cowan here? Sends a decent cross in. Well defended by Riaville. Still not cleared by the home side. Pike. Nobbs! On target. Just ripples the side netting, though. I think Sean Rogers had it covered. Still 2 more minutes of additional time here, and Newcastle United looking the more likely. So we are just hearing from the Sheffield United bench. They're just unsure whether or not Simone Sherwood's going to need further medical treatment, because she's one of the ones that our interviewers will look to speak to afterwards, scoring her first Sheffield United goal. And is it going to be enough to secure a precious point here against Newcastle United? Rouse. Anywhere will do. 65 seconds remaining here. Cooper for Newcastle United. Seconds tick by. Gregory. Looks as though the visitors are going to try and create something late on here. Pike's ball in. Hales, what a first touch! And it's only due to the alertness of Sian Rogers that she can't get the shot off. Something's gone off the ball there as we rewatch. Hales there, almost taking it into a stride, shake of the head. And it looks as though the goalkeeper was injured in putting her body in the way there. So if you have missed any of the action, you joined us late on, you can re-watch it at your leisure. I'm sure some of the supporters inside Bramall Lane will be doing that. Heading to the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel, which I'm sure these are all subscribers to. Big Emily Murphy fans by the looks of it. That's her face on the Irish tricolour. And now we are at the discretion of referee Joe Moss here. 6 minutes are up. Treatment, though, for the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Nobbs quickly closed down. Gregory. Who got the final touch? I think it was Gregory. So that's going to be a Sheffield United throw. You can see the body language there of Tanya Oxtoby. She's not too impressed with what she feels as though is gamesmanship from the opposition. It's going to stretch to 7 without a win for Sheffield United, but they have improved their plight to preserve Barclays Women's Super League 2 status. Fiery challenges coming in there. Ultra competitive game. And it looks as though neither of these two teams can split each other, so they'll have to share the spoils. Cowan. Cooper. Slide challenge is a strong one. Sheffield United have the ball back. Schofield goes down, stays down just to readjust her laces. I think the referee's just encouraging Sheffield United to get on with things here. Schofield just trying to keep it away, as far away from the home goal as they can. The hosts here. Newcastle United have other ideas, though. Wardlaw, Nobbs now. Nobbs' ball in. Newcastle United still have it, but that is it. Sheffield United go 2 games unbeaten for the first time since early November. A share of the spoils with Tanya Oxtoby for Stephen Healy. Frustrated the visitors, but it is now just 1 defeat in their last 7 away from home for Newcastle United. Both of the goals coming in the first half. The teenager, number 24 for Sheffield United, Simone Sherwood, she scored the opening goal, tapping in from the goal line. her first ever goal in Sheffield United colours, on loan from Leicester City. You did always feel as though one goal wouldn't be enough to beat Newcastle United. And it was Emily Murphy who equalised in first half stoppage time, her 6th of the season. Back-to-back Barclays Women's Super League 2 goals for the Irish striker. She's put in another good showing in front of her international head coach, Carla Ward, amongst those in attendance here at Bramall Lane. Aoife Mannion had another good game for Newcastle United as well. She looks disappointed. They'll feel as though this is a potential opportunity missed by Newcastle United. They could have put further pressure on Birmingham City. All these players will be able to sit back on the sofa and join us here on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel on Sunday for a wealth of fixtures. But as for events at Bramall Lane, full-time, Sheffield United 1, Newcastle United 1. So in terms of the statistics, as you can see, an eventful game, both into double figures in terms of attempts, not quite double figures in terms of saves required to be made, given those efforts on target. Defences were both asked lots of questions this evening at Bramall Lane. Some really good competitive duels across the pitch. Passing at times was excellent. Certainly from Sheffield United, they played out from the back. Newcastle United on the counter was a joy to watch. No cautions, and it is a point apiece between Sheffield United and Newcastle United. So how does that impact on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 standings? The only teams in action here today, just one fixture on Saturday, 5 tomorrow. So Sheffield United and Newcastle United can only sit back and enjoy the feast of football that we bring for you on Sunday. We're actually going to pause on those standings because it's perhaps more important that we show you the best bits of the action here from the full time, which finished Sheffield United 1, Newcastle United 1. Let's show you just how that played out. Sheffield United free kick met by Rouse and stabbed home by Simone Sherwood. Her first goal for Sheffield United, and it's an apologetic celebration. Rouse's effort was definitely going in, but the centre-half made doubly sure, and that gave the Blades the breakthrough in the 44th minute. What a response, though, from Newcastle United. Nobbs's cross, chest control from Murphy, and what a finish that is. 6 for the campaign for the Irish international. She had a couple of opportunities prior to that, which perhaps reflects in her celebrations, or lack of celebration. And that meant that we went into the break all square. In terms of the second half, Mannion's ball over the top. Sheffield United let it bounce. It falls to Larson. She can't get the effort on target. I think there was an actual offside, so it wouldn't have stood had she found the back of the net, the Swede. Newcastle continued to try and create, though. And this was a sensational effort and a sensational save. Pike into Rodgers. The Sheffield United goalkeeper coming on top. The Blades had their threat going in the other direction as well, and a lot of their joy came courtesy of Amy Andrews, the number 7 top scorer. And that was an effort on target which had to be tipped over. Sheffield United's free kick fell to Schofield, and we felt as though that was the match-winning moment. The post had other ideas. And again, Schofield was in and amongst things, and it fell to Ralph, who couldn't keep the effort down. Sheffield United and Newcastle United made changes. The one for the visitor was Shauna Hales coming on. They refreshed the top two. She forced the corner. Nobbs' effort just rippled the side netting. And Sheffield United's defence stood firm. So, let's review the league standings. As we know, Charlton continuing to lead the way. They have a 9-point gap. Newcastle United, though, have moved to within 2 points of the automatic promotion places. They are above Bristol City and towards the foot of the table. Ipswich are the ones in danger. They currently occupy that sole relegation place. And Sheffield United have put 3 points of daylight between themselves and Ipswich Town. So in terms of action to look out for tomorrow, make sure you join us. Midday, first action is Ipswich against Durham. Another big game at the foot of the table. League leaders Charlton, they welcome Sunderland following that defeat in the midweek to Portsmouth. Palace, they're also charging towards getting in amongst that automatic promotion race. They're welcoming Nottingham Forest. Portsmouth take on Bristol City. And Southampton, they welcome second place Birmingham City. So that completes our coverage from Bramall Lane. As always, we appreciate your company. I've been Tom Gale, and thanks for watching.